today I'd like to show you some things that I have on my desk to help make a quick card. First, I want to do some follow-up. After I finished the video the other day, I did some additions to the card. I don't know if you can see very well. I hope you can. But I put a little bit of sparkle inside here, and I added some shading in the leaf section. I think it really added a lot to the focal point, and I think it makes the card that much nicer, just the little details. And sometimes I do add these things later. After I've made a card, I'll look at it and think, hey, that needs a little this or a little that. But I think after that, I'm very pleased with this card. I really like the updates. I used colored pencil in here, and I used marker on this one. I did go back and make a lot of the things I talked about making the other day. I did make some of these as like large carnations, and then I made some with the green. And I thought, you know, this really looks kind of neat as, I don't know what it was supposed to be, but when I make this little guy out of here, I just don't feel like he's good by himself. I don't really like him as part of, and I tried, I put him on here, and I just didn't see it adding anything to it. It didn't, you know, I even put this up a little bit, and I just didn't like it. So guess what? I made it my way. Here's the one I made the other day. I added some light white. I used a white gel pen and added some shading, or I guess that's lack of shading, light on the one side of each one of the petals. And I think that really gives it some dimension. This little guy, I added some of the sparkle. I thought the sparkle, I don't know if you can see it or not on here, but the sparkle seems to really add a lot to these. I put them inside of each one of these guys. I really like the way these came out. I think they do look like succulents like this. And they look different. I kind of like that. I did like the green one I did, but I kind of like the color to give it a little pop of color. And here's the other one that I made that I almost threw away, and I put some shimmer inside there, a little bit of sparkle, and put those on it. And I think it'll make a nice little added addition either inside or as part of something on the front. But now I've got all of these made, and these were made with one of the stamps from the set. If I can find the set now. I think I put it away already because, you know, it was sitting around on my desk for a bit. Yeah, here it is. I knew I was going to talk about it. So here was the stamp set, and then I put the stencil and the dies and the masks that I made all in here to store them. I think storing all of them together makes the most amount of sense to me. I think if you store them separately, you just forget that you have them. I know a lot of people add a little note or something saying I have these other things with it. Since I've never had a stamp set that has a die and a stencil, I've added die to some of them just so I knew that they had dies. But I think I'll store that one like that. But now I've got a lot of things on my desk, but I wanted to show you some other things I made that were simple things. And these are not just die cuts or whatever, but I took a punch and I punched out this shape from my punch. I bought this punch. It was one of the first punches I bought. I've had it for a really long time, and it's come in handy. Then I did a stencil on the background, and I put a little die cut on there. You know, that, and you add something like, is this the purple one? Yeah, the little purple thing can go on the inside, or it can go with it on the front. This can go on the inside. This one's just asking for one. Look at this. We could put this up here and then put a little sentiment, and it makes a nice focal point. I cut out some other ones. This one looks really good, and these are all glued down. You know, with that color behind it, with the green, it looks really nice. Wouldn't think the blue would look very good with that. But we got blue and other ones. I've got a lot of different colors. I have different ones in here, but a lot of them, the plain ones, I took and put some stencil on here so that I could just add this and then add a quick sentiment, and you can put this on a one of your pattern papers that you have that you don't necessarily, want to use for anything else. My problem is with pattern, I want to make my own patterns. So a lot of times I don't use them. Here's the spotlight, where you put that right in the middle. And actually this one might look pretty good in here because of that. And then you could put something around it. It's got a nice little thing around it. This is a little darker one. That won't be fun. And let's see what else we got here. Some more of these. So when I sit down, I just do a bunch of these, and then I have them. And there's the purple one again. So this one, it's not the right purple really to match it, but if it was, that would be good. But you've got something. A lot of times I do, that's a good blue. It's a really good blue. And all of these, any of these could go on here with a sentiment. And it would look kind of like this, only in a bigger form. You put the sentiment at the bottom. I would probably put them on some sort of paper. This one's a reverse spotlight. It's darker in the middle. That one for sure would be good with that. This is a different blue. But you get the idea. So I have a bunch of those on my desk, and I play with them when I get a chance. I'll glue them together. Another thing I have, this one is just a simple die that embosses. So if you notice, it's got a ridge around it, like a frame, embossed. And what I saw that would be kind of neat is if I went around it, then I could put this in there. How cool would that look? I really like that. That would be a really nice thing to have. I'm not even sure where it would go. But we could see. That's the thing, is you just don't know what you're going to do with all of these things. But one day you'll be looking for something and go, wow, this will be perfect. Now these I really like. So these are also punches. And what I did is I punched out ones that I thought would be good, like for birthdays. Cupcakes. And these have little sparklies in them already. All you got to do is add something like this and a happy birthday. And it's really cute on a small little tag, right? So now you've got a tag for a gift or anything like that. Let's see some of the other ones. Oh, this one here, I think this is the same pattern from before, because I thought this one looked kind of cool on here. Again, it's got that same color, almost that same color. And stripes. Now, this paper, if you look at it, I would never use this paper probably, and it's a big sheet of it. But look how cool it looks with that glitter running through it. And you could do one of these. This is a little bit big for this, but this one's not. Look at that. And you could put something across here, or you could let it sit on there and put something down here. And that's almost the exact right color. I think that looks pretty good on there. I'll probably be making that later. I've got some stars, and stars are really good. This Bravo over here is just begging to be put on some stars and maybe hanging off a little bit. It's got I've got some shiny stuff on there too, but you could add to it. I could go around the outside. These are not done per se. I could go around the outside with something. I could do all kinds of things with them. This is the kind of thing I like to do when I'm kind of, not really wanting to make a card, but wanting to do something. And here's a blue, just a plain blue one that has a pretty simple flowers on the back of it. And what I would do with this is you could leave it like it is. You could add something on here, but I think adding some greenery, because this kind of mimics that, adding some real greenery on it, like, not real, but you know what I'm saying, some die cut, so it's sticking up, it's not paper, might be kind of fun. Or also making that exact same kind of flower And I've got some other flowers that kind of look more like that. So I would probably add this, maybe with one of those on it. How cool would that be? Sitting like that. Or if it went that way. Because some of them, these are a lot of different ones. So this one goes that way. So maybe putting this on here next to it with a flower that looks like that would be kind of fun. Or even cooler, putting it on the back, a big one, and then having this on the back of it and it matches. How neat is that? So these are some ideas of things I have on my desk. I always have a lot of things on my desk that are kind of in the works, I would say. I currently have these circles sitting on my desk, which is why I grabbed them for this, because they're nice to use, and why am I not using them? I made this a little while ago from things on my desk. This was literally pieces of just leftover scrap paper and this outline, and I saw that the leftover paper on one side had the yellow, so I cut it, put it on here, and then I had this little flower. It's from a Tim Holtz different occasions. I use it all the time, and it's just a tiny little stamp. And I had made, it's from this one, which I don't know if you can get it or not. They say they don't retire the stamps, but I think this set, I have no idea, but I bought this set when I first started stamping. I still use it a lot. Here's the flower right there. And I just put it on there, and now I can put it on something. This is actually one of my favorite things to do, is to take things that are sitting around and make something out of them. I don't know why I find that so much fun, but I do. And then I have little things to use. So this was a shorter video. I just wanted to show you some of the things on my desk that I thought were fun to share, and some ideas I have. And hopefully next time we do this, I'll look at a different part of my desk. I have lots of different little containers that are full of things. Stay tuned and keep crafting.
And dance by the light of the moon.